Hey Aquarius shifters, happy August. Welcome to the Existential Shift. If you're new here, thank you for joining. Looking forward to tapping into your energies. Okay, Aquarius, a great way to handle all these energies that are storming through you is physical exercise. It doesn't have to be too straining, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. It could be as simple as going out for a walk regularly, or else you will feel it in your bones. Let your thoughts run around. Don't try to resist it, or else it will turn away from your mind and into your body. Better to just think it and let it out. Think it and let it out. Just let it come and go. So if you're trying to meditate, for example, instead of resisting your mind, work with your mind. Three of Swords. This is the after tarot, though, so it's the healing process from the Three of Swords. It's actually a good thing. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. You know, Saturn is still in your sign, retrograding. It's already, you know, by nature, because it's one of your rulers, it already can be very strict on you. But when it's in your sign and retrograde, it's even more intense. So you feel the societal expectations even more strongly, and you have even more, you know, demands of yourself. And that coinciding with you going through a healing process, letting go of a lot of pain and disappointment and possibly betrayal. But the good news is, you know, it's being washed off. Maybe you're going to go for a walk and the rain will catch you. Let it catch you. Walk in the rain. It's going to be very freeing. Cleansing. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. Show me, please, for Aquarius seekers, guidance for the month of August. Guidance and foresight, yes, for the month of August. You've been like, there was a lot of expectations on your shoulders from your environment, from society, from energy, because you represent, you know, humanity, societies. You kind of hold the torch, you know. So especially now when societies are going through such incredible level of transformation and change and upheaval, whether you're active in it or not, at the very least energetically, you're really guiding a lot of it. Some of you knowingly and actively, and some of you energetically and unknowingly. That's why you felt so much pressure recently. It's not that you had a front row seat, you were center stage. And you're like, why is everyone looking at me? I'm just in the front row. And it's like, no, you're in the center of the stage, Aqua. Everyone is looking at you because they want to see what you're going to say. And you're like, what? No, I'm dealing with too much right now. And everyone were like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You have to step up to the game while processing a lot of pain. And of course, you got this, and you can, Magician. You were born for this, Aqua. You have the skill, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have the energy, you have the courage. Don't let the past drag you down. You have creative ideas, There's something you feel like you might be able to do, but it's so crazy, or maybe a little bit impossible, or maybe not like you, but you can. So go for it. It's like you're taking the swords that has just left your heart and allowed it to heal, and you're taking them, they're falling down, but you're just like, I think I'm going to utilize this, right? That's what a true magician does. It takes, challenging, negative, problematic energy, painful energy, and transmutes it into power, into creativity, into energy, into life force, into manifestation. And that's what you're doing. You're like, I'm not going to be affected by this pain in a way that is going to bring me down. I'm going to be affected by this way in a way that is going to lift me up. I'm going to utilize this as medicine and as influence. Some of you will find, I'm picking up somehow, that during this month, you're going to feel like something that you thought had died or ended or just doesn't have the inertia or the force to, to exist or manifest or grow in your life, suddenly picking up momentum and speed and growing and somehow working out. Some of you I'm picking up, it's very specific. You're building stuff from scratch. Like maybe you're building a table or a chair or something like that. And you're improvising. I see you improvising. Maybe you're taking someone else's junk and creating art or furniture. And you're very good at it. You're very creative. So if you've considered on doing that, I think you'll do well at that. If you'll just allow yourself to explore. Oh, okay. Show me more, please. Okay. 10 of Swords and the Hermit. So for those of you who are grieving the loss of a loved one, I'm sorry. Yes, it is still being carried with you throughout the month of August, possibly further, depending on how close you were. But there's something you are literally or figuratively bearing. And you're taking what you've learned from them or what you've learned from the connection, and you're trying to remember that and hold on to that wisdom while letting go of the grief. And that's just yet another form of transmutation that you're conducting. If you don't know what transmutation means in practice, I did do a 13th element video on it. You can find it on my 13th element playlist. How to transmutation, transformation, alchemy of spirit. I recommend watching it. It's when you take energy and work with it and change it into something different as opposed to move away from it or deny it. It's just molding it into a different form. And normally it's spoken about in reference to the work of alchemy, taking coal and turning it into gold, taking negative energy and then turning it into positive life force. Anyway, back to this. This could be something or someone that you've held in reverence and love and respect for. Possibly you've learned a lot from them. And now it's like they've passed the torch to you. This could have been someone that has passed or left a long time ago, but for whatever reason, only now you're tapping into what they gave you, what they taught you, what their guidance was. That also is a possibility. Right. I am picking up on you saying your goodbyes, but also gaining so much knowledge and wisdom and skillfulness. The magician and the hermit. You know, Hermes had the, I don't, technically it's Cronus the hermit, but I'm going to pick up on the mercurial energy from this magician and the hermit. Hermes, which was the Greek mythology counterpart, not counterpart, but parallel, I'm sorry, to Mercury, version to Mercury. He had the ability to travel between the world, between the Olympus and the kingdom of the living, and the underworld, the kingdom of the dead. And this process of loss and grief, possibly, or of ending of something, right, have had you go through this, you know, cross several worlds, tap into different dimensions, timelines, mindsets, philosophies, approaches, from being super optimistic and strong and to a little bit depressed and negative, and that's okay. You learn and you grow from it. Judgment. You realize so much about yourself, about life, about spirit at large. And it brought you to your self. And when I say self, I don't mean the self that you know or the checklist of who you are, where you live, what you do, how old you are, etc., etc. Rather, your true soul's calling. I see you picking up the phone when you're getting a call. This is a very powerful time, August going into September and even into November, the next few months, where some of you are becoming prophetic. Some of you are going to tap into some prophetic knowledge, ability, skill. Maybe you'll be reading some scriptures or some, some wise books, and it will trigger that. Um, some of you are working with the prophets of whatever religion or school of thought you believe in. Some of you are working with angels. Some of you are working with entities that you don't necessarily caption in a specific structure, but you're feeling them. I feel like you went through enough light and shadow to be able to recognize shadow spirit versus light spirit. Because when you open the door, sometimes you don't know what's going to come through. So especially if you're not experienced in either channeling or conveying with other beings, be very discerning, very cautious. Don't leap ahead. I think it looks like you are in a place that is very energetically in tune and you can differentiate. But I don't know who's watching, so be honest with yourself. Sorry, Seven of Swords. And be cautious and humble with working with that world, because not every guidance that we get from spirit is good guidance. Okay, just like there are different people, there are different other dimensional entities amongst themselves. The yin and the yang exist throughout this galaxy, let's say, not just this planet. Okay, there's matter and empty matter. There's planets and there's space. Okay, it's across galaxies, actually, to different extents. Yes, this reality is very polar. Our reality is very polar, very light versus darkness, and so on and so forth. But it doesn't just exist here, and it doesn't completely gets canceled in other dimensions. And it really depends on which dimension you're tapping into. So all I'm saying is be humble and be wise, and practice caution, right? Be discerning. Use your own mind and your own knowledge to be like, is this spirit truly giving me a good guidance now? It can get very confusing because we don't know sometimes if the reason we're triggered or uncomfortable is because it presses a button that, you know, irritates our own inner demons and it's actually really good guidance versus where we're being told something that is just, I don't know, not true. Okay. And that takes time. That takes time and practice and trial and error. Seven of Swords. If you'll try to ignore wise counsel, sounds so okay, it will trip you. You will trip on yourself. If you'll try to be clever instead of wise, if you'll try to be egoic instead of humble, it will trip you. This is your own rope tripping yourself. And it's happening to this character because he's holding all these swords, right? It's kind of a smart ass energy. Aqua, yes, for some of you, it's someone outside of you, but I'm picking up for some of you, it's you tackling yourself. Some of you are given a warning. A forewarned, but you're ignoring it because you're kind of dishing it, you're disrespecting it, or you're translating it in some way that is not, it doesn't see clearly. Use your heart space to think through it. Okay? You have 40,000 cells, brain cells, surrounding your heart. Your heart is a very powerful mind, more powerful than what we call our mind, which is our brain. Utilize that. Show me more, please. For Aquas, for my beautiful Aquarian seekers. The sun is across from you because it's Leo season, but it's actually helping you tap more into the mystique in you. It's like it by default it forces you to look into your shadows, to where ancient wisdom lies and where your ego lies. You understand the difference, I'm sure. It's a complex process where you have to really be spiritually witty and discerning. It's like a maze with, it's like riddles and tests and no one can give you the answer. It's your journey to go through and find the answer. You can have advice, you can have guidance, you can, if it's good advice, you can take it, but you can also ignore it, and who knows? Show me more about this. Nine of Pentacles. This is good. This is a very solitary energy. So far, August seems to be a process, a journey that you have with yourself and with your belief systems, with your work, with your accomplishments. It's a bit of a lonely feeling. Maybe you've recently gone through a breakup, a separation. You've been through the loss possibility, and I'm sorry if that's the case. Oh, this is good. I like seeing this. The Sun and Justice. Okay. Some of you are, if you're in court, like if you have a lawsuit or something, you're going to win. You're going to come out in the right. The truth will shine very brightly, and very warmly onto you. Like you're going to be seen in a very positive light. You'll possibly gain some wins. For very few of you, this could be an inheritance if you have someone, if you have lost an elder person in the family. Some of you, it's a custody battle for children, but you're making a very strong case. Your case looks good. Ace of Pentacles. Financially, don't worry. If you are in some sort of financial question mark, like will it work, will it not work, will I win, will I lose, will I get it, will I not, it looks very positive. You're going to get something that's going to make you very happy and accomplished, and also money, resources. Knight of Pentacles. And it's like one thing comes in and then it opens up another opportunity that also brings you further resources. There is some good crops I'm picking up. So for those of you who work with crops, it looks like a good season. 5 of Cups. Listen, it's going to stay there, that feeling, whatever it is you're feeling right now that you're sad about. And that's okay. It's really natural. Don't push yourself, you know? Don't force yourself to feel good when you don't feel good. Don't go to the toxic positivity. If you feel good, go into it, have fun with it, focus on it. And once you don't feel good, feel through that as well. Process your feelings. I see duality in this coming month. You'll have a lot of really great stuff to be very grateful for, very happy for, really great results, great resolve, opportunities, money. But simultaneously, there is the sensation of possibly a little bit of a loneliness or sadness or grief, depending on your situation. I am not foreseeing any loss. I am referring to something that you know about. Okay? Can you see the cards? Maybe this way you see better. Okay. All right, let's look at this. I want you to see. Okay, so these are the major arcanas. I'm tapping into the even deeper layers of this reading. Okay, so I'm going to pull the major arcanas and have them stand here together. Sorry. Oh, 9 of Pentacles fell, and it fell in the reverse, so I'm going to take it. We have one ace, only 1, 3, 1, 5, 1, 7, 1, 9, and 1, 10. None of them repeat themselves. We're going to put them here. And a Knight of Pentacles. So it is a solitary time, but for some of you, there will be an opportunity to connect with someone, but the feeling of the actual connection will play out more towards either the end of August or September, Virgo season and on. So there might be like a taste of it or like an experience of it, but it won't really play out until a little further. It's not like playing out in this time frame of this reading. And others of you, look, there's no repetition of the minor arcana. Actually, what am I doing? This is the extended right now. I'm just going to finish up this thought. Maybe it's for a reason that I'm saying this. So there's no repetition of the minor arcana, which means that this is mainly a month to experience what is happening, but mostly process the things that are happening and really grow and transform and expand through them and with the helps of them. And that will generate a lot of power in the physical world for you that will manifest a little later on. Now, this is for the general reading. As for the extended, I will go through these cards and clarify this opportunity / event / person here with the Knight and these major arcanas to see better details, more details about the situation, and then I will finish up with messages from the runes. I'll pull the runes. The links to that are below. It's available on Vimeo and on Patreon. If you're new, be sure to subscribe. Either way, give this the like. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you right now. Bye for now.